Darian Volkova is a ballet dancer turned photographer. She entered into photography first only as a hobby, photographing herself and her company while living her childhood dream, dancing in the Russian ballet. Now she's a fine art ballet photographer whose work showcases a unique perspective into the lifestyles and work of ballerinas, as well as portraits of some of the leading dancers in many prestigious theaters throughout Europe. She's won many awards, including Anna Pavlova International Ballet Photography and also Shorty and Sony Awards for Dance and Portraiture. She has shown her work in a few exhibitions in Europe, and small collections of her photographs are housed privately throughout the world. In Darian Volkova's photography, you will often see exhibited both the dancer's beauty and the reality of the hard work they do to produce their art. The following photographs are selections from her ongoing project featuring a behind-the-scenes look into a dancer's world. She uses shadows, lines, and a variety of angles to give the viewer a special perspective, different from the one we might ordinarily see from the theater seats. Darian Volkova shifts between color and black and white photography often, depending on what mood she would like to project. The vibrancy of the costume also comes into play when choosing color. In the photograph and the next one, the light blue of the costumes reflect the calm and still waiting of the young ballerinas. This photograph has more warm tones and likewise reflects the sense of movement in this scene. In her backstage photographs, Darian Volkova takes care to place her viewers there behind the curtain with her, sometimes opting for some internal framing as she photographs the backs of her dancers to make it clear that they are in the middle of practice and we are right there with them as they walk out onto the stage. This likewise is a scene from the side of the stage watching the group rehearse for a performance. And even here we can see the ballerinas busy adjusting their costumes. Okay, moving on, we're going to talk about another project she did combining two of her great passions, ballet and her hometown. Darian Volkova has a great appreciation for some of the architecture that can be seen around St. Petersburg, and chose to photograph several dancers in these places that she found. She wanted to highlight both the dancer and the architectural design. Here again in this project, she made great use of light and color to accentuate both art forms. She's completed a number of commercial projects as well. These are stills from two of the more recent campaigns for which she did a short video commercial. The left is a stretcher for ballerinas, and the right is some Reebok clothing line. The area of photographer that she seems to be most active in is portraiture. Darian Volkova's portraits have been a mixture of commercial and fine art photography. This is Alina Kovaleva, a soloist at the Bolshoi Theater. She also made a short series in a dressing room with Anna Turashvili, the first soloist at the Bolshoi Theater. This artistic style of these photographs, utilizing the mirror and the boudoir setting, are reminiscent of Bertha Morisset paintings. Here she made some portraits under the theme of a pas de deux, which is a dance with two people, usually a man and a woman. In this portrait is Elena Severnard, principal dancer at Bolshoi, and Denis Rodkin, who is the soloist at Bolshoi. These photographs were taken during some studio sessions. These are some examples of how Darian Volkova gives her dancers direction while shooting. Since she was formerly a talented ballerina, she uses her knowledge and expertise to explain to her subjects how they should pose to show off their form and to best showcase their own talent. Here are some more unique portraits she has done. This is Ina Bilaj, the prima ballerina at Perm Opera. And this and the next slide feature Anna Turashvili. She's the first soloist at the Bolshoi Theater. To me, much of the spirit of her work is in the style of Richard Avedon. She blends her own art form with the art of the dancers so well by capturing behind-the-scenes moments of ballerinas in practice and with the use of movement in portraits, and also the way she knowledgeably directs her subjects in the studio. And although she may be a very niche artist, being a dance photographer and working primarily in Russia, her portraiture work and behind-the-scenes perspective is unique, artistic, and inspirational. Darian Volkova stands out noticeably for these and many others of her photographs. I hope you enjoyed exploring the work of this photographer that I really admire. If you'd like to read more, here are some articles about her work, and you can also follow her on Instagram. It's at Darian Volkova. Thanks for watching.